Which three programs are you looking at to be the most improved in 2024? So let's move to the SEC. We've got to find this year's Missouri, basically. And Missouri was the team last year. We thought, okay, what's going to happen here? We were a little confused about Eli Drinkwitz getting the contract extension after 2022. But then in 2023, they were awesome. They looked great. Very complete team, some veteran corners, veteran edge rusher, good quarterback in Brady Cook. Cody Schrader was one of the stories of the year in college football. So they were fantastic. We're looking for this year's version of that. Who can kind of take that next step? Now, this is a team that I chose that had a decent season last year. They went 8-4 in the regular season. They won their bowl game. But it wasn't what their fans wanted, and it wasn't what they expected. And this is a case where, again, if you look at schedules, they might have one of the better draws in the SEC. And I speak, of course, of the Tennessee Volunteers. So Tennessee returns one of the best edge rushers in the country in James Pearce. Nico Iamaleava is the new quarterback. You saw him in the bowl game. Reason to get excited. And Nico, I think, is really the key here. If Nico is significantly better than Joe Milton, we are talking about a 10-win team. And a 10-2 SEC team is making the playoff. We don't know yet if Nico will be significantly better than Joe Milton. We know that Brew McCoy, the receiver who was hurt in the middle of the season, has decided to come back for another year. We know that they added Chris Brazzell from Tulane at receiver. Holden Stays, the tight end from Notre Dame, added into that mix. And Nico's going to have some targets. They lose Gerald Mincey, the tackle, who goes to Kentucky. They bring in Lance Hurd from LSU, who, very good player, but was stuck behind Will Campbell and Emory Jones on the depth chart at LSU. So he's a guy who probably good enough to start most places in the SEC. LSU just happens to have two superstar junior tackles. As I was doing my Prize Picks selections for this weekend, if you sign up for Prize Picks today, use the referral code Andy. They will match your first deposit up to $100. It is the most fun daily fantasy game in America. And I got one that I love. So they have these demon squares. For Prize Picks, you pick between 2 and 6 squares, and you say, I think this person is going to do more than this or less than this, whether it's yards, points, touchdowns, that sort of thing. So these demon ones, you have to pick more. And it is always one that's a little bit trickier, that probably is a little bit harder to get. But the payouts are increased. So in my case, I have picked Isaiah Likely and George Kittle. So my 2 tight end play. Isaiah Likely plays for the Ravens, played at Coastal Carolina. He was great. High school teammate of Mikey Samerstill from Michigan. George Kittle played at Iowa. We know him and we love him. If both of those two guys score touchdowns, I get 7 times what I wager. 7 times. That's how the demon lines work. Now, you don't have to do that. You could also do what I did with Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey, they have a special running right now. And basically, if he gains 1 rushing yard in the NFC Championship game, his square hits. So I've got a Christian McCaffrey square, and I've got another square. And so if that works out, the payout is not as high because they're giving me a little break on Christian McCaffrey. But it's a good way to have an idea that you feel safe that one of these is going to hit. So you do NFL playoffs, NBA every night, college basketball, Thursday night college basketball. There's Arizona, Oregon State playing. There's a lot going on in the West Coast Conference. Gonzaga's playing. So all kinds of ways to play on Prize Picks. Basically, if they're competing, there's a good chance it's available on Prize Picks, whether it is cricket, basketball, football, hockey, esports, you name it. So sign up for Prize Picks today. Use that referral code Andy and get an instant deposit match up to $100. Can Tennessee do this? Can Josh Heupel get them back into the double-digit win club? This is the year we find out, what is Josh Heupel going to be long-term? Is he going to be a guy who can build Tennessee into a year in, year out SEC contender? And let's look at Tennessee's schedule. They don't have to play Missouri. They don't have to play Ole Miss. They don't have to play LSU. They don't have to play Texas. That's great. They do have to go to Oklahoma. They have to go to Georgia. I think we're all just looking at Georgia in November as a loss. So let's just write that off. But they get Florida and Knoxville. And, given what Florida's bringing back, I wouldn't talk about this game, except Tennessee took a bad loss at Florida last year. And for whatever reason, the Vols can't seem to win in Gainesville. But they do seem to have gotten the monkey off their back in Knoxville. So they get them in Knoxville. They get Alabama in Knoxville and no Nick Saban. We don't yet know how much difference that makes. They got an NC State neutral site game early in the season. That could be a nice non-conference win if the Vols can beat the Wolfpack, because I think NC State is going to be pretty good. You got Grayson McCall coming in to play quarterback from Coastal Carolina. They've been solid basically every year under Dave Doran. The question is, will they be better than solid? And there's a good chance they will. So that could be a nice non-conference win. But that at Oklahoma, at Arkansas, Florida stretch, if somehow Tennessee can go 3-0 there, you're looking at a potential playoff team. Like that is a potential playoff team. So that the Oklahoma game for Tennessee, I think, may wind up being that key matchup where if you can swing that one, you're in really good shape down the stretch. Now, again, I'm not writing off Alabama. They beat Alabama 2 years ago with Saban. This is a chance to show, hey, this rivalry is going to be different now that Nick Saban's not here anymore. So that's the Vols. But if we're going to boil the Vols down, their chances of being one of these teams, it does boil down to Nico. How much better can Nico be than Joe Milton? And if he is, then get very, very excited. Thank you so much for watching. Just a reminder, subscribe to this channel right here so you never miss an episode of Andy Staples on 3. And oh, by the way, watch all the other great videos on the On3 Sports YouTube channel.